Thank you guys for coming. Mr. Orange, this is my third video I'm dropping for the night. I know, I got so many videos I'm dropping, and I'm not editing any of them, so congratulations for coming. Yes, I'm still from my phone, as I said in the last two videos. Yes, my computer, we're not getting until July. Sometime in July, hopefully. And so look forward to that, and some more updates on my channel, and other things. But if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you don't know who I am, I'm a vet, old dude, has opinions. I'm pretty much a nobody writer. Just wrote my first book is published. You can check it out at Amazon, or you can check it out on my channel description. You can find it all over the place. Um, Today is my review of a game, a Nintendo game called Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I played both. First game I liked, but I also didn't like a lot of the weapon, breaking stuff. Yes, I know you can build weapons stronger and stronger, but I just got so tired of finally getting me a badass fucking sword, and then feels like two enemies later, just and you're like, what the fuck? Even the Master Sword, he only had so much, energy, and then it felt like it just ran out of energy. It was done. But in the second game, they kind of fixed a lot of the issues because you pretty much can make anything into a weapon, which is fucking fun. There's so many ways to take a stick, combine it with a giant rock, and now you got this fucking giant skull bashing tool. Or you can go around and find some, pretty powerful weapons out there that weren't really powerful by themselves, but if you combine them with certain monster parts, they become super fucking good. I just beat the game literally like 2 days ago, and I just want to give my opinion, and then I'll give a little bit of spoilers. I'll tell you when that comes. Pretty much, what did I think about the game? It still has a lot of the good of the combat from the first one. Yes, weapons will break. Durability kind of sucks. There are good weapons out there you can find that have way higher durability. You also get better damage if you combine, as I said, with monster parts. As you get higher and higher skills, as you unlock more and more levels, blah blah blah. Monsters do get tough, so they do level up with you, which is kind of good. And also kind of bad because you're like, oh well, I just got a bunch of freaking weapons. Especially in this one, I had so many fucking weapons by the end of the game, and every one of them were like 60 to 100 damage a piece from the monster parts I collected. And some of the bosses were pretty fun. They weren't like overly challenging. None of the temples were like Ocarina of Time challenging, but you still had a couple challenge if you go a certain route and you unlock some of the the spirit dudes first. The sages, you get sages in this game that come with you. They're not really with you, but they have like these powers that join you, like these almost like ghosts of these sages, kind of like their spirit comes with you and they helps you fight. And some of them are great. Some of them not so much. Like if you want to glide around and fly around, I suggest you get the bird one first. If you're tired of wasting all your bombs, get the fire mountain guy, little whatever they call him, a guru. Yeah, guru. Get him because you can grab him and his powers. You can throw him at things and he explodes and blows up. Oh, it saved me so many bombs. You guys have no idea. Trust me. Oh my god. There were so many times where I'd be like, arrow, boom, blow up a wall. And then all of a sudden, like, no bombs left. I'm like, fuck. I'm not going to waste my weapons because I'm going to combine a rock to a weapon and then bash open rocks. And it was annoying. And then I got the Goro, and then I just go gook every like 10 seconds, like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. His little charge will happen, and you can just throw him into something to explode. And oh my god, it made clearing out things so much easier. And then there's the water guy, gives you a shield. It's meh. The lightning chick from the desert, she allows you to, if you click on her, she'll envelop an area, you shoot an arrow, and then lightning hits whatever target your arrow strikes, which is fucking cool. And does a shitload of damage. I'm telling you, there's ways to like combine a certain bone onto an arrow. Activate her. She gets your enemies with this freaking like area with lightning damage. Hit one of them with that. Lightning strikes it and some of the targets nearby and just massive damage. Oh my gosh, it was fun. There's also other ways you can combine stuff. You can put bombs and shields, and there's a lot. You can put a rocket to a shield and blast yourself up in the air and jump up from above, which is actually a good tactic to fight with. You know, if you're especially if you have a creature that's just fucking you up if you're on the ground. Get a couple rockets, strap into all your shields, fucking blast, 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 blast your arrows. Fucking just you're gonna get a lot of arrows in this game. There's lots of ways to get arrows, so you don't really have to worry about. Oh no, I'm out of rubies and I'm out of arrows. Fuck, my life sucks. There's so many ways to get rubies. It's really, but the beginning, yeah, it was kind of difficult. But after a while, you can just sell. You'll get tons and tons of rubies, and you'll get tons of different things with breaking stuff. Just keep selling this stuff. Don't spend your money on wasteful stuff, and you'll be fine. That's just a tip, by the way. A tip for me how to beat the game. I know. Oh man, I'm a big Zelda fan. I grew up mostly on the Nintendo series games. You know, Nintendo 60 or Nintendo Super Nintendo was my first ever game console. So I had like the original Zelda games. I had the original Mario games. You know, Mario All Stars was my very first game I ever played. Oh, excuse me. And then I went up to the M64, and oh, got like hiccups. Give me a second. Ah, I love coffee. I know it's late. I'm drinking coffee. That's all right. I'm going right to bed after this. Yes, I can drink coffee and go straight to sleep. Thank you, military, for all your really hard coffees. Okay. Anyways, back to Zelda. So, my greatest game, besides Final Fantasy VII, would be Zelda Ocarina of Time. Besides, you know, then there was Majora's Mask and blah, 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 blah. But Ocarina of Time was a game I played and I beat and I played and I beat so many times. That was before YouTube and the internet, really. And that was a time when you got stuck in a water temple going up and down, trying to figure out where the fuck to go. Yes, I'm one of those guys that hated the water temple. So every time I beat the game and I got to the water temple part, I'm like, oh, fuck, how did I do this fucking temple again? And so I had to look up my guidebook. I had a Zelda Ocarina of Time walkthrough book. You know, big ass thing. Fucking love that thing. Usually I didn't use it when I was playing through. But I used it on the water temple. Because every time I had to go through there, I always got fucking lost. Or just could not figure out how to get through that. God, that fucking dungeon sucked. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that. Anyways. Yeah, so Zelda, you know, that's Ocarina of Time, sorry. Tears of the Kingdom, I think they did a really good job. You know, especially the story, I really enjoyed the story. There are some moments where you're like, especially the Tears quest. That's one of the quests I finished right off the bat because I wanted, you know, figure out what I would get from that. And you get all the tears, and you watch all the cutscenes, and you kind of figure out what happened to the princess. Spoilers. 10 seconds, I will be spoiling something massive in this game. 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, for those who are coming, I am giving this game a 10 out of 10. Fucking fabulous game. Such a great game. You got above, below, fucking great. Those are going to stay for spoilers. Starts now. Pretty much the princess ends up, if you don't know what happened, in the previous game you guys defeat Gandalf. I call it not Gandalf. Ganon? I always call him Gandalf. I don't know why I do that. It's Ganon or something like that. Anyways, you defeat him and then you go down, you start going down. In this one, you're going down. And then you find the Demon Lord, Demon King, whatever. And turns out all his powers, pretty much, it's him. His powers are kind of leaking, and they're becoming Ganon over and over and over and over again. That's why they had to constantly kill it. But the first Ganon was a dude evil. He stole a thing after he killed the first king of Hyrule's wife, stole her little power gem thing. I believe it's of light, and he turned it to darkness when he put him on himself. Gave himself massive powers. Pretty much became a god. And monsters and evil and darkness, and spread his corruption through the world. It was pretty freaking cool. I love that story, But what happens is he attacks Link. The Master Sword breaks. And he tries to kill Link. Link's arm gets freaking cursed, and almost does kill him. First King of Hyrule's spirit is still there holding Ganon there, but it fades. Turns out you get his arm. Yeah, because your arm's useless, so the first King of Hyrule's soul pretty much replaces your arm with his arm. So you get all these kind of cool little abilities with his fucking arm. And you can't find the princess. You wake up again. It was not years later. It's literally right after it happened. Maybe a couple days. Everybody's freaking out. No one can find the princess. Turns out the princess got sucked back in time. So she ends up in the original Hyrule. Hyrule. Right at the beginning of when Hyrule was created. Meets the first king, queen. She tries to learn why she got transported in the past. Figures out that the Master Sword goes back to her in her time. It's broken. She's got to figure out how to pour light into it to heal it. And so, as you learn the story, she has to somehow live forever, pretty much, because she has to get it back to you. Not sure how, but you keep having this sense, find me, find me. Turns out there's a way for her to live pretty much forever, but it could cause her to lose herself. She would become almost not her anymore. She would have to swallow her time gem. She got a gem, it's the power of time. So she's a sage of time. So she swallows the gem. Turns out she becomes the light dragon. So one of those giant dragons that flies through the air, we're all once people who took the power, and she's lost herself. It's a forbidden. The people tell her it's supposed to be forbidden because you lose yourself to it, and you pretty much don't know who you are anymore. But she does this because it would help her fuse the sword with enough light through the time that would heal itself, and it would become very potent. And so she holds onto it, swallows the gem, becomes a dragon of light. And now she's flying around Hyrule as this giant fucking dragon. And oh my god, did it hit. I was like, holy crap! Yes, on her forehead is the Master Sword. So there's a quest where you have to find the Master Sword. It's on her forehead. You have to have enough stamina. Unlike the first game where you had to have so many hearts to pull the Master Sword free, this one you need stamina. And if you have stamina, you pull the Master Sword free, and you get the Master Sword again, which is, I suggest you definitely want to get it, because there's ways to combine it with really powerful monster parts, so it's way tough damage. But I always saved it for boss monsters or Ganon himself. Because man, that thing fucks up Ganon. You put it with one of the best monster parts, you fuse with it, holy shit, that thing is, God, it does a lot of damage to fucking Ganon at the end. Most of the fights were pretty decent. There's one that because I was rushing so far trying to get the sages, I ended up doing the lightning one last, and it sucked. I pretty much had no arrows left. I went in there unprepared. I barely had any good weapons. I had 2 good weapons at the time. I had no arrows. So I eventually just had to leave and just leave out of the area. Collect me a bunch of good weapons, get a whole bunch more hearts. I maxed out my stamina, got a bunch of more hearts because I only had 4 at the time. It was bad. So I went and got 20 different, almost, I don't know how many hearts I had at that time. But when I finally went back, I was way more stronger, way more powerful. I crushed that fucking boss like it was nothing. And I learned a lot more techniques. I learned about the one bone, because there's a bone that you get that is plus 40 to damage. That bone, but it breaks after one hit. And so I was always mad because I would attach it to a weapon and I would use it, and then the bone would be gone. I'm like, fuck. And I realized arrows. Why did I not think? Stupid. Attach it to arrows. It's a one-shot anyways, and it does a fuckload of damage. So your arrows turn into like a boop boop to boom boom. Oh, but yes. So then I suggest you collect the eyes from the bats. There, every time you go up to a cave, certain caves, tons of bats will pour out of it, like almost as. So what I suggest is you like get a bomb or something, like ready to go. So as soon as you walk up to the caves, when the caves, you just toss the bomb and it blows up, killing a bunch of them. Collect as many eyes as you can. You know, you're gonna need them, and you're gonna need a bunch of stuff to upgrade your armor. There's tons of armor. It's fucking great out there. There's great guides out there to help you get armor if you can't find any. You know, I think I used the god set. A god, I don't know what it's called. It's like a god set. You look like Link, just with like a little bit of armor, glowing eyes. But it gives you, if you have a whole set on it, you give +3 to attack, like all the time. It's not, you can't upgrade it like a super defensive as much, but I had a bunch of defensive foods with extra hearts, which really helped. Trust me, especially at the end. That helped me so much on Ganon. Plus, I had the armor to get the gloom set, which makes you look like a dark wizard kind of like thing. That one helps you a lot when the Ganon fights, because if you get too much gloom, you lose heart, like it'll crush your hearts. And so with the gloom armor, though, you get a couple extra hearts that they can't crush, which helps. Other than that, it was fun. You know, you got to really just in the deep chasm can get a little bit annoying when you're trying to find your way around. I suggest going to caves, lots and lots of caves, to not only find armor pieces, but to get the little gloom bulb things. They're like little plants that you'll find that light up areas where you throw them or shoot them. I suggest throwing them, because you'll waste so many arrows just shooting them everywhere. I learned that like right off the bat. You just toss them as far as you can. They light up a certain amount of area. The bigger ones light up a huge amount of area. And then you find the bulb things that are underneath shrines that really light up the whole area. And if you can't get to a certain area, go back to the surface. Find a closer drop point that in your area. Trust me, that'll help you a lot. And follow statues. That's my next thing. If you see statues and they're facing a certain way, kind of follow those as they lead you in certain areas. Because if you're looking for one specific place in the underground, there's so many times where you're looking and you can't find it. If you followed the statues, you would probably find the entrance. There at one time, statues lead you to nowhere. But when that happens, do what they tell you. Leave that area, go down a different chute. You'll find it. It's better. Watch out for the gloom down there. Anything that hits you will give you gloom hearts, so be careful. Don't walk through the gloom too long. Yes, it does suck when you have like 10 health hearts and then you're down the gloom too long, and also you have 3, and somebody hits you like with one attack and you die. So that sucks. So much good coffee. And if you have a bunch of gloom hearts missing, return to the surface, or one of those bulb things I talked about, like the big ones, to light up the area, and they'll slowly get your hearts back. So that helps. And then just eat and heal yourself. There are foods. I do suggest at the end, though, definitely get a lot of foods that heal your gloom hearts. Because when you get on the dragon, there's a fight with Ganon who becomes a giant dragon. Spoilers again. And it will gloom you as you're on him. So I suggest you buy foods. You don't need too many. And try to land as close as, because he's got these little eye things you destroy. It's really easy. It's almost like beyond easy. His dragon form is like super easy. Everything before that's kind of tough. But if you're good at, the slow-mo, if you're a master at your like dodge and your block, you're gonna kill Ganon like that. I'm not very good at that. So it was mostly me just jumping back, jumping, running away as fast as I can, and then shooting him in the face as much as I can. Or using a rocket to shoot myself up above him. I've done it many times where I just shoot myself up slow motion my arrows and just ow, ow, ow. With that bone I talked about, I had a ton of those bones at the end, like 50 of them. And I had like 200 or 300 arrows. I just rained down fucking damage on him. And I had like 5 shields, all 70 plus, with a rocket attached to it, so I can just keep shooting myself up. Made the fight so much easier. The Lionel fights, I only killed one Lionel. Every time I faced a Lionel, they kicked my ass. I'm not gonna lie, I am not that great at that's Lionel's fucking killed, and you will have to defeat a Lionel before you fight Ganon. So good luck. You're gonna need it because it is a corrupted Lionel, but the Lionels drop the best bones in the game. So there is a place in the ground that has like a Lionel arena, and there are people who figured out how to kill them easily. It was like there's a mushroom in there that's called it's like a mist. You throw it down and it creates like a smoke screen, and as long as you're in the smoke screen, it can attack you because it doesn't see you. So I literally just toss one down and just beat the shit out of it. Toss one down, beat the shit out of it. You don't need a lot of weapons, but you eventually kill it, and that's how I ended up killing the corrupted one. I know, it's kind of cheating, but it's the only way I could kill one. So every time I tried to face one without doing that, I would get like 3 hits in, and it would just run me down, and I was just like, fuck. There are dudes out there who they make the combat look silly. And I'm like, God, I wish I was that good. But yeah, so I give this game almost a 9 or a 10 out of 10. The game was fun. The islands I thought were gonna get annoying, having to go back up in the sky. But, it was actually kind of fun doing that. You get to go up in, these little floating islands. They have puzzles up there that you can solve. You can get the flight suit, which helps you kind of do better. You can fly around a little easier. But yeah, I suggest definitely check out the game. If you have a Nintendo Switch and you're not playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, what the hell's wrong with you? It's Zelda. And it's Nintendo. They belong to each other. Thank you all for coming. I'm pretty much going to leave it there. Go get the game if you haven't got it. That's my suggestion. It's just good to play some good Nintendo. Without my computer, I got really nothing else to play on except my PS4, but my kids play Minecraft on it all the time, so I never get to play on it. So I got my Switch. Just sit here. So yeah. Thank you for being here, guys. So, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'll see you guys later, alright? Bye.